Hello everyone and welcome to Soar and Score Reviews. Firstly, I want to make an apology for not uploading any videos in nearly 6 months. It's been full swing senior year and I just graduated high school, so haven't had much time to do the editing, but I hope you enjoy. Today we'll be looking at Turkish Airlines business class on the A350 from Denver to Istanbul on the new flight. On the A350-900, Turkish Airlines has 8 rows of business class in a 1-2-1 configuration. There are Collins Super Diamond reverse herringbone seats. They're lie flat, they're fairly private, and angled toward the windows or center depending on the row. The odd-numbered rows are closer to the aisle, while the even-numbered rows are farther towards the window, offering better views. And the middle seats are great for couples, while the window seats are great for solo travelers. Also, try to avoid rows 7 through 8 because you'll be served the delicious appetizers last and supplies may be exhausted. Same thing for dessert. We start our journey at Denver International Airport at the Turkish Airlines International Flights check-in counter. Business class has a reserved lane with a red carpet, which I felt was great given the line for economy was really long. While we were checking in, the employee was nice enough to tell us how great the flight was going to be. This was a nice touch that you don't often see at business class check-in counters. If you have any questions about how to navigate Denver International Airport, look at my videos on UA27 Denver to London for departing and UA263 for arriving. What I didn't get to in those videos was the new Denver West Security Checkpoint. This renovated security checkpoint features state-of-the-art technology, and I was through in 5 minutes. Even when I didn't have pre-check, I was able to get through in 10 minutes. With lines that used to be 40 minutes in the south and north security checkpoints, this is a huge upgrade for Denver Airport. This time I was able to get some photos and videos of the underground train, which transports you from the main terminal to concourse A, B, or C. Here's a look at the A350 that will be taking us from here to Istanbul. For departing passengers in the Star Alliance on business class flights out of Denver, there are many options for lounges. The main options are the United Club at Terminal A West around gate A27, so a bit of a trek from my gate here, and in the B concourse there's another United Club. In this video I was short of time, so I quickly went to the A West United Club to check out some of what they had. If you want full coverage on United's lounges in Denver, check out my video United Airlines 27 Denver to London United Business Class. They had the lemonade and cucumber water as usual. They had plenty of booths and places to take a seat and rest. They had the same entrees as before, the beef, pasta, and chicken dishes. They had plenty of desserts and brownies. So I walked at a quick pace back to our gate where it was time to board this beautiful A350. And my first impressions of the cabin, wow. This was well thought out, the seats are far spaced apart, and the ambiance is special. There were plenty of flight attendants to greet me and guide me to my seat, and the seat itself is amazing. It's wider than the United Polaris seat, and definitely is one of the better seats I've sat in a plane. There's a shell around your side that gives you additional privacy. There's a nice footwell, and although many people complain about the footwells, this footwell was really good and I was able to stretch my feet pretty good. Off to your left side, you have a panel which has the seat controls, charger, and where you connect your headphones. Very easy to use and intuitive. And on the other side, you have more seat controls, which were also very easy to use. Another look at the charging outlet and a little cubby that's behind your seat, which I was very grateful for because I had a lot of stuff. And obviously the TV screen welcoming us on board, asking us to select our language of choice. It was a little glitched out at first, saying we only had 23 minutes to get to Istanbul. Obviously that wasn't the case. Now let's dive into the TV. Obviously it's a large screen and very bright, so I had no problem watching movies the entire flight. Now the menus. And I have to say, wow. This blows United Polaris out of the water. I looked at this menu and I was like, I'm in for a treat. This was really special. There were 10 appetizer options, and you could have all of them if you want. There's not one or the other, which was awesome, which you know I'd had one or the other. And the main, you had 3 options. I went with the beef today. And then for dessert, there's 10 different desserts they bring around on a trolley, which I think is super special, and wait till you see how they make the dining service magical later. Obviously, they had plenty of wine and beer options, cocktails, and even mocktails. Next, I took a look at the headphones. These were incredible. They were extremely noise cancelling, and I was able to really focus in on what I was watching the entire flight. So much so that I couldn't really hear the crew when they wanted to talk to me. But wow, great headphones. Something unique about Turkish Airlines business class is they don't offer a traditional welcome drink of champagne or juice. They just offer juice, and these are special juices. They have lemon, strawberry, and orange. I chose the strawberry. I think this is a really cool touch. The mood lighting on the A350 never disappoints, and this orange mood lighting was perfect. It was almost time to go. We were a little behind schedule leaving Denver, but that's not a big issue because we had extreme tailwinds and ended up being in the air for only 10 hours 20 minutes instead of the scheduled 11 hours 30 minutes. Now enjoy the engine startup of the A350's powerful Trent XWB engines. Sorry, it was a little muffled because of the world's oldest bread advertisement, which was quite strange.
It began with a grain of wheat in the heart of Anatolia. It drank from the waters of Mesopotamia and blossomed under the sun. Kneaded with curiosity, 12,000 years ago, the first bread was born in Anatolia.
Now a time lapse of a relatively quick 13-minute taxi out to runway 8. The takeoff on the A350 is always mesmerizing. It is incredibly loud, unlike the Dreamliner, yet only 10 minutes after takeoff, the cabin becomes quiet. In my opinion, quieter than the Dreamliner 787. As we climb to cruise altitude, let's take a look at the in-flight entertainment system. The music was extremely expansive. There was everything from Sabrina Carpenter to Metallica. This was truly amazing. There was also so many movies, you could never get bored on these flights. There was also a very expansive list of TV shows. Again, you could never get bored. They were also filtered by genre as well, or A to Z, whichever you prefer. There was also plenty of games, and even better than United's, which was awesome. And obviously they had live news, which was amazing as well. So you could watch sports, your favorite news network, and many other things. And then there was a whole page on Turkish Airlines and who they are. And the flight map did not disappoint either. It was powered by Voyager 3D and was amazing. Alright, let's look at some of the amenities you are provided with in Turkish Airlines business class. To start, you get slippers, which were very comfortable, and an amenity kit with an eye mask, socks, earplugs, a dental kit, and some lotions. Very well stocked. Here's a video of how the tray table works. Very easy to use and convenient. You could even get out of your seat while eating, which was awesome. The flight attendants first passed out hot towels and water bottles. Then, the table was set, and this is where the magic began. There's a lamp, there's bread and butter, and your silverware kit is already set out for you. I got a lemonade to start with some warm nuts, which were very good. Next was the appetizer, and I was extremely impressed. Out of the 10 options, I did not go for the octopus salad, the seafood salad, the salmon tartare, or the garden salad. I went with the chickpea tomato salad, the tabbouleh, which was delicious, moutabal, which was also delicious, empanadas, and the soup, which was incredible. All of these practically melted in my mouth, and I was extremely impressed with the presentation as well. Turkish definitely deserves the Best Business Class Catering Award from Skytrack. For the main course, I had the beef, which was delicious. I then ordered a wellness tea. Then dessert was served. Since I am gluten-free, I couldn't go for the baklava or other Turkish desserts, but passengers next to me said they were really good, so I would definitely recommend them if you get the chance. I went with the cheese plate and the fruit plate, both of which were really good. I then took a trip to the galley, which was well cleaned, and there were great options there, including some soaps and lotions. This is a major step up compared to United Polaris. These small things separate a good business class from a great business class. While I was in the restroom, the flight attendant made my bed. Turkish Airlines gets an A+ for their bed and their bedding. The bed was wide and the footwell was comfortable, and you get 2 pillows, 2 blankets, and a mattress topper. Very comfortable, and I slept for a solid 5 hours, which is a game changer when you're traveling on a long-haul overnight flight. I arrived in Istanbul very well rested, and even though it was 5 p.m., I was still plenty tired and ready to go to bed that night. Great job here. I awoke with about 3.5 hours remaining in flight, perfect for adjusting to the new time zone. With about 2 hours left, the flight attendant started the arrival meal service. First, with another hot towel and a glass of orange juice. Where United Polaris breakfast falls short, Turkish Airlines breakfast is incredible. You don't feel like you're getting a small portion. You get an appetizer and an entree. And for a second meal on the flight, that makes all the difference. The fruit plate was delicious, the chia pudding was amazing, and the turkey salad also hit the spot. I also had a latte with my breakfast. There were 2 options for breakfast. There was banana pudding and French toast, or the California omelet. I went for the omelet, and it was incredible. It was packed with flavor, and for a second meal on the flight and breakfast, which usually disappoints, Turkish Airlines excels. This again showcases their incredible catering. They also gave us a box of chocolates as a parting gift, which I really appreciated. Before I knew it, it was time to start our descent into Istanbul. Enjoy the time lapse and landing. There were many cool planes at Istanbul, including this Emirates A380, a Thai Airways A350, and incredible views of the concourse, as well as this A330. And another cool feature I forgot to mention about Turkish Airlines is they have a tail camera, which was really awesome and made it fun to watch the landing and takeoff on. We disembarked through the front door and had a separate pathway to customs and immigration, which was amazing. And here's a picture of our plane that flew us all the way from Denver to Istanbul on Denver's longest and newest flight. The Istanbul airport is new and is absolutely beautiful. You're walking above the concourse on your way to immigration, and yet still it is mighty impressive as it feels like you're on your own concourse. That wraps up today's video. Thank you for watching Soar and Score Reviews. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe. Also, in the comments, put any feedback you want so I can make the videos even better. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.